All right, this is part 2 of the 1960s Japanese-made Univox U45B guitar amplifier project. And here's a closer look at the 3-prong power cord that's going to be used to replace the original power cord. And there's Barney Miller keeping an eye on things, making sure we behave. If we don't, I'm quite sure he'll send Wojo Hoets or fish after us. Anyways. And let's see, here's the original power transformer. Let's see if we can't get a decent look at it. And this would be the original output transformer. If you can't make that out, that says 16K. This would be the primary side. And this says 8 ohms and 0. This would be the secondary side. Here's a look at the original capacitors. These would be the electrolytic capacitors, and these would be the oil-filled capacitors. And again, the original ones. Here's a look at the PCB board that's already been populated with the new components. I plan on doing a video on this next, a little bit, more info on it. And last but not least is the chassis, which I'm going to have to set up and do in takes because I can't seem to keep the glare down and get a good video taking of it, I guess. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit better look at this the front of this chassis. And here we have the inputs: guitar, accessory, and auxiliary. Now that guitar input jack is actually installed on the outside of the chassis. We'll get a little bit better look at that here in a moment. And here are the control pots. We have volume, tone, and tremolo. And there's the foot switch input jack for the tremolo. And here's the power section, on and off switch, and red jewel light for the power indicator lamp. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit better look at the back of this chassis. And here we have the tag for serial number and inspected by, all stamped and looking good. That would be the speaker output jack. And here we have the 6x4 tube socket, 2 6BM8 tube sockets, and the 12AX7 socket. See if we can get a little bit better look up inside there. Here's a better look at the power side of the chassis. You can see the fuse holder there and the light socket for the power indicator lamp and the back side of the red jewel. Here's a look at the input side of the chassis. And here's the guitar input jack mounted on the outside of the chassis, which I don't really care for, but they did make up for it with this really cool Made in Japan stamp. All right, let's see if we can't get a better look at the back side of the front of the chassis. And here we have the input jacks, the control pots, tremolo foot switch jack, power on off switch. Everything's been tested, works fine. Made sure the carbon traces on those pots didn't stray too much throughout the years and still within tolerance. And here's a look at the back side of the back of the chassis. That would be the speaker output jack. And here's a look at the tube sockets, all cleaned up and ready to go. tube pins fit in there nice and tightly. Nothing's torn up. Those tube sockets seem to have cleaned up good, so no reason to replace them. Seem to be functioning well. This amplifier is what I call a Florida swamp vine, and unfortunately the years and not being stored properly caused quite a bit of corrosion on it. See if we can't get a look at it. There's solder tabs for the fuse holder, but it had quite a bit of corrosion that I had to deal with. Shouldn't rust any longer. I used a mild rust remover, like McGuire's polish and so on and so forth. But why don't you get a look at that? Let's see. Actually, here's some of it on the top. Doesn't look real pretty, but I don't believe it's going to rust any longer. So, is what it is. Unfortunately, due to humidity and improper storage, not only was there corrosion on the chassis, but it destroyed the cabinet. You could smell mold big time, mildew. The particle board was soft. I just threw it away. I'll have to build a cab or something for it in the future. And the speaker also, not only was it rusted on the outside, which, yeah, could be taken care of, but unfortunately the voice coil was scrubbing, and it was scrubbing pretty bad. Definitely wasn't usable.
So that ends part 2 of the 1960s Japanese-made Univox U45B guitar amplifier project. Thanks for watching.